Welcome to Curious Caravan. I'm Jason, and with me is my co host Lizette. We're here to take you on a journey to America's most curious, quirky, and downright unforgettable spots.
Yep, so if you're into hidden gems, oddball attractions, and a little nostalgia, you're in the right place. Every episode, we're going to dive into a new destination that'll have you itching to explore, or at least give you a fun story to share.
So buckle up because we're about to take you off the beaten path of some of the weirdest and most wonderful places around. Let's dive right into Curious Caravan. Well, another week and another get together for our curious folks. Here we are, Lizette, once
We
again.
look at us go.
And this is going to be a little bit different type of episode. It's going to be on the shorter side because this is going to be kind of like a travel bites experiment. We wanted to jump in and share something that we found that's really cool, which is travel trending and viral, because why not? Today's topic, which I think is really, really interesting, and I think it gives a lot of great ideas for all of you travelers out there and traveler lovers who think that maybe traveling is unattainable, just whether it's cost wise or time wise, or you work full time and you don't get a lot of vacation days. But
Mm-hmm.
this one guy is making waves because he's
Yeah.
going viral for these 1 day trips around the world.
Yeah.
And he's all about his short travels. And he's really popular at Instagram, really popular on TikTok. And his name's Kevin, a content creator. And it's really great because he's been able to check off his bucket list spots without really breaking the bank.
Yeah.
He's made this all a reality. He documents his traveling everywhere from Paris to Egypt in a span of 24 hours. This article from People, it says the 27-year-old creator has seemingly cracked the code of micro travel, making every moment and dollar count. Whether it's
Mm-hmm.
spending a few hours on the beach in Puerto Rico or skiing the Colorado mountains, Kevin refuses to let the constraints of time and distance hold him back. And he
Yeah.
says, I just want to break the stigma that you need a week to go anywhere. If you want to go somewhere and you don't have time to take off work, you could literally just go for the day. You could make it work. And the big secret to his budgeting these trips is he doesn't always book a hotel, which is usually a huge cost for people making these trips.
Huge.
And one of his more recent videos, he vlogged his day in Puerto Rico. He literally took off at 6 a.m., landed in San Juan at 11 a.m., and then he flew back to New York that midnight. And he literally was going for a beach day.
Mm-hmm.
And the beach was only 30 minutes away from the airport. So to me, these types of micro trips, it intrigues me because I think if you can plan it correctly and get the flights correctly, you legitimately, because flights and how they get discounted and all the pricing, you really could, if you're like, I want to go to New York for the day and see a Broadway show. I'm going to fly at 6 o'clock in the morning. My show is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to see the show and then I'm going to fly home.
Yeah.
And legitimately, it's much more cost effective in some ways than spending a whole weekend there feeling like you have to.
I
But
agree.
the thought of even doing day trips like to Puerto Rico, I mean, I'm in Florida. I could easily do a day trip to Puerto Rico if I wanted to.
Yeah.
You could do a day trip to the Bahamas. And
Okay.
he says his big thing is that he always decides on one specific activity or location when he's traveling so for such a short amount
Mm-hmm.
of time. So he's like, just have it in your mind. I want to go here and do that. So he was like, I wanted to go to Puerto Rico. I wanted to go to the beach. So I went to the beach. And that was that.
Yeah.
And you walk around, you get food, you enjoy the day, and then you go home.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool because, his whole thing about these solo trips is you don't need a lot to do. You don't need much to have an enjoyable experience. You really can just pick an activity for the day, go and have the freedom to explore and come home. And honestly, I really like that idea, especially for someone like me. I have 3 dogs. It
Mm.
is a nightmare to say the least to plan long vacations, even like a couple day vacations, just because I have to board them or figure out family to look after them, and that can be a real difficult situation. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, these types of day trips could absolutely be doable because you could just go away for the day and then come right back home.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, that could be a much better and affordable option. He was saying he went to Cincinnati for the day from New York, and it literally was a $50 round trip flight. And while that won't always happen,
No, you have to check Skyscanner 24/7, but
but you could totally make it work. I mean, he went to Egypt for a day from New York. Now, his flight was $650, but he was like, wait a minute, you could spend $1,000 to go to Egypt, 650, go for the day, see the pyramids, come home. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people may think that's crazy. Like he flew to Cairo at 5 a.m. and then flew back to New York the next day at 5 a.m. So it's literally was 24 hours. But I think,
Hmm.
if you're really just trying to see the world or see these places that are on your bucket list and you just do these short day things, like I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah. And it's actually kind of crazy. He had started a movement. I've been noticing a lot on social media where a lot of people are doing that exact same thing. They're checking Skyscanner, they're checking free activities within the city they want to go to. I even saw one girl go to Washington, D.C. for just 24 hours, and she saw all the memorials she wanted to see. There was a festival going on, so she saw that as well. He started a movement of these micro trips. So before that really looked like either doing a little road trip same day. I mean, I've done those where I'm like, oh, I just want to see this waterfall here in Texas. I go for a day, I come back, but I'm driving the whole time. And it's really changing perspective on what that looks like. I absolutely love it because oftentimes we don't. We do our 9 to 5 and we get off and our 5 to 9, whatever it may be, is completely different. And maybe one day you'll see me doing a 24-hour somewhere else working. Probably not going to do that because then that defeats the purpose. But
Well, I always think, day
yeah,
trips of like, I'll go to Universal Studios for the day, you'll go to Disney for the day, you'll go to a park for the day, you'll go see like
yeah,
one attraction nearby for the day that's in driving distance. I never really
yeah,
thought of, oh, like hop on a plane for the day and go somewhere. But when you start to
exactly.
think about it, it actually can be really, really doable. And,
Exactly.
here on Curious Caravan, we're always curious about where we can caravan to. And,
Yeah,
it doesn't always need to be a multi-day trip affair.
no.
So, folks, if you're ever thinking of doing a day trip, think outside the box. I mean, this seems like a really, really fun option. And yeah, that's our travel bite for this week. And if you want to see more of Kevin's day trips, you should check him out on Instagram.
Kevin Droniak is his name, so
Yep,
look him
that
up.
Kevin Droniak, that is Droniak. All right.
Awesome.
Well, that's it for this week. Stay curious, folks.
Adios. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. We hope you enjoyed the journey as much as we did.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review Curious Caravan on your favorite podcast platform. It helps more curious minds like you find us.
And if you're hungry for more weird and wonderful travel, follow us on social for extra content and behind the scenes sneak peeks.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep being curious, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Curious Caravan.